part 7 to 10, Land Y series. Only 3 more to go, and then the series is over. Sharing intimacies around the feminine, around relationship, around why we do what we do. A lot of the things that I've been sharing in this series definitely can pertain to both sexes, not just to women. But I'm not a guy, so you're going to get it real, raw, true intimacies around relationship, around our sex, around love, around why we think from the female perspective. These are things that I work with people on every single day in my coaching practice. And I just really felt called to share a little bit deeper insight at this time of the year, because as we enter into fall and winter, we are entering into a very difficult season for a lot of people, where breakups happen, where people pick up relationship in the winter months because they just don't want to do the holidays alone. They don't want to be alone during the winter months. It's lonely, it's dark, it's depressing. We do a lot better being alone in the summer and in the spring than we do in the fall and the winter. So this is a critical time of the year where people really to actually reach out. And today's episode and tomorrow's episode are really guilty of kind of leaning in on backup plans or temporary relationship. So as I just said, let's just get going here. So today's episode is about why I was okay with backup plans. Now, for the first time in about probably 15 years, I don't have a backup plan. And I can tell you that it's refreshing, and it feels wonderful, because there's not an extra added stress of management going on. And I never really truly realized how much I was managing so many different relationships that I really didn't want anything to do with until I let go of them. So why do we have backup plans? Both sexes are guilty of this, having opposite sex relationship with people that we've either dated, had sex with, been in love with, were married to, lived with, those high school boyfriends, those college boyfriends, girlfriends, what we call just the casual affairs that we can kind of just enjoy. But then why do we carry them on? Well, women, we are pretty bad about keeping backup plans going. And to us women, we look at it and we go, oh, I friend zoned him, right? He's in the friend zone. He knows exactly where his position is. He's not going to cross the boundaries. He's not going to, I know that he's into me. I know that he would jump at the opportunity. I know that he deeply cares about me. And as women, we think, well, because he deeply cares about me, because he would jump at the opportunity, then I know that he's there for me too. It's almost like it's a safety. It's almost like it's a safety zone for us. So we keep those backup plans in check, in management, and we do it without even realizing. Hold on, somebody's coming. Somebody around the corner there? Children. All right, so backup plans. So we keep these backup plans going because we believe that we can manage the boundaries, that we can hold the relationship in a container of safety, and that it's perfectly fine. We also do enjoy the flirtiness that we can get from that backup plan. We know that that person is there in multiple ways for us. There is an ignition that we can enjoy from that. A few months, a month ago or so, I did one of my inquiry questions asking about, do men have backup plans? And the majority of men said no. There were some that said absolutely. Those men were in open relationship. The men in monogamous relationship claimed to not have a backup plan, not have a work wife, not have somebody that they were engaging with, having chemistry with, having different non-sexual intimacy with. Where women, when I asked the question a few weeks prior, surprisingly always like, yeah, of course I have this other man in my life. Of course I do. Like, this is, this is my buddy. This is my friend. This is my workout friend. This is my dance partner. This is my best friend from blah, blah, blah. Oh, we dated. We did this, but he knows where he stands. We're okay with it. The majority of women are okay with this because we don't see the harm in it. Now, here's the reality. Backup plans. If you're not in a committed relationship, if you're not deeply in love with the person that you're with, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a backup plan, this goes to you too. But if you're not deeply in love with the person that you're with, then I can tell you that there's a more reason there than what you want to admit as to why you have a backup plan. If you are truly committed, in love, all the way in the game with somebody, all your cards are in, is there really a need for a backup plan? I've learned, no, there isn't. There isn't a need for a backup plan, because everything that you're looking for should be in the partner that you have, as far as that intimacy, that connection, that spark, that desire, that play, the intellectual. That's what we in today's world really want in our intimate relationship, in our partner. Now, granted, through the course of time, we used to look for other areas to get this from, right? And it wasn't the sexual component. It was that we were looking at, maybe our partner wasn't intellectually there for us, but they were there in other ways, right? Maybe they weren't there in all of the same alignment areas of interest that we had, but we had other areas other people that we could lean on for that. In today's world, we want it all with one person. And I've heard it said over and over again that today's good relationships, when they are really good, they are better than the best relationships of history. Okay, so when we get it right today, we really get it right because we've learned a lot of skills and there's a lot more available to us. So we can really lean into that one. But in general, what we end up doing is we're still guilty of trying to have this all with one person, and then we go, yeah, I'm happy, but I could be happier. Okay, we live in the land of I could be happier. So you're good, but I'm going to just keep all this open over here for the time frame because, I don't know, maybe I could be happier. And ladies, we're really bad at this. We go, he's so amazing. He's so good. He's so this. He's so sexy. He knows how to wine and dine me. He's such a great protector. He's such a great provider. But, and that but is what keeps the door open. That but is why we go, yeah, but I can't talk to him about this. Yeah, but he doesn't enjoy this and I really need this. Because we also live in the land where we believe that all our desires should be met all the time. And in truth, that's silliness. Nobody's desires can be met all the time. And you have to get really true with yourself and say, does this relationship align to me? Does it meet me in so many yummy ways that I can say, hey, I don't have to have all my desires met. And being happy is exactly what I was striving for when I was looking for relationship, when I was wanting relationship. So why can't I really stop fragmenting myself with all this other stuff out here and just put all that time, that energy, that commitment, that desire, that passion, the inquiry right here into the one that I'm saying that I'm going to be with? Why can't I do that right here? 80 to 90% of relationship can't do it because 80+% of relationship isn't really truly aligned. We jump in quickly. We don't really know each other. We get caught up on the exterior of the book, right? And we don't even learn what's in the book. And we get deep into relationship before we even know what that other person has to offer or if we're aligned to it. So we get into that and then we go, well, yeah, I knew that this relationship wasn't fulfilling here. And then we go, I want more. And that's the trouble button. I want more. And then guess what else we do? We don't communicate to this one that we're talking to, that we're in relationship with, that we're engaged to, that we're living with, that we're raising children with, that we're paying bills with, that we're talking about life plans with. We don't communicate. And then we find ourselves communicating intimacies to all these backup plans. I was talking to a client of mine about letting go of backup plans just this last week, and she was sharing with me, oh, but we're always going to be able to do this together, even though we're not having sex, even though we're not going on dates, even though we're not doing this. He's such a good friend. He's such a good friend, and I just really enjoy my time with him. And my partner, he's just going to have to be okay with it. He's just going to have to be okay with it. And my question to her was, why does he have to be okay with it? What does that say? Should he just bow down and say, sure, I'm good with you hanging out until the wee hours of the morning with another dude? Yeah, sure, I'm good with you getting all dressed up and sexified out there to go be with another man? We can say, oh, I'll just put my partner in their place. And I've heard this, and that actually just makes me want to cringe, scream, get mad. But when we say, I'll put my partner in their place, they have to respect this backup plan relationship with this other person. What we're saying is, this relationship that I'm saying that I want to do life with is not priority. It is not really, truly the one that I want to put the time, the focus, the commitment, the dedication, the energy into. What we're saying is, everything else is more important than this, and this person, I'm going to put them on the back burner. But I'm going to say that they're priority. I'm going to say that I love them. I'm going to say that I want to do life with them. I want to be monogamous. I want to be exclusive. I want to be whatever the label is. But they're going to have to get on board with exactly what all my hopes, my desires are, and all these other relationships. Can you see how that can be just a little bit detrimental? I always ask people, like this particular person I was coaching last week, I asked her, well, how would that make you feel? And when we bring it back to self, we get such a clearer picture, because at the end of the day, what we're really wanting is, we want to be the one that brings desire up in our partner. We want to be the one that they get dressed for, that they want to look good for, that they're turned on to. We want to be the one that draws out all that good in them. Sure, it's going to come from other sources, of course, like we get appreciation, we get flirted with as we go out into the world. We can't stop that 100%, nor should we expect to. But that primary focus, that attention, needs to come from whomever you're with. And if you're not wanting it from that person and you're wanting it from all these other sources, you have to ask yourself, is this truly the priority relationship? Am I here for the relationship, for the love, the alignment, the connection, everything that charges up inside of me? Or am I just here because this'll do for now? It'll do, but I can probably be happier. So I'm going to keep all those options open. I'm going to keep that dating site still open. I'm going to keep the app on my phone. I'm going to keep that contact list in my phone. I'm going to touch base with so-and-so and so-and-so. I'm going to go have coffee. I'm going to go do lunch. I'm going to keep the door open. Because when we keep the door open, what we're saying is that we're not committed. We're not in love. We're not all cards in. Instead, we're just here until we find something that makes us happier. So why do women, and why did I keep that open? Uncertainty, and a fear of putting all the cards in, a fear that the relationship would just end up being something that I was already familiar with. Yeah, sure, I think it's this. Sure, I think I feel this. Sure, not trusting self. That's why we keep those backup plans, because we don't trust ourselves, because we've been down this road a few times, too many, and it's not turned out great, and our hearts have been broken, and we're fearful. So we keep those doors open because we don't trust ourselves. The problem is that when we don't trust ourselves, we don't get all the way into the pool. And sticking our toe into a relationship and saying that we want to be swimming in the whole pool, they just don't go together. You can't swim with just one toe in the water. So you've got to get all the way in. And if you question, well, how do I know? How do I know that this relationship is a priority? Well, number one, get really present in the relationship. Get to know that person. Do the inquiry work. Spend more time together. This whole, oh, I'll just see you 2 nights a week and we'll go out to dinner and we'll always dress perfect and we'll always smell perfect and we'll always be emotionally perfect with each other and we'll always laugh at each other's jokes. We're just going to keep the rose-tinted glasses on for as long as we can go. I can tell you that you can do that for a very long time, years and years, decades, if you keep that space there. But it's when the space goes away and you start to really wake up to the real relationship. The sooner you can do that, the sooner you can get 100 hours in with somebody that's compact, the sooner you start to see the real person. The mask starts to drop and you can say, are we aligned? Do the inquiry, ask the questions about the value-based things that are important to you. Who are you at your core level? And find out who they are at their core level, and then find out, do we align? What do we agree on? What do we have differences on? How major is it? How do we communicate through our differences? All of that is important in relationship. And if you can get those questions met, then you can go, okay, I can not only be happy here, but I can be happy here forever. And that's what you're looking for. That's what you're ideally wanting. Because in today's world, what is monogamy? Monogamy is, I'm with one person at a time. What was monogamy in our history? Monogamy was, I'm with one person for a life. We still believe in the one person for a life. We're looking for the one. We're wanting the lifetime relationship. We're wanting it to be a love story and a life story. But what problem is that we're not giving the life story an opportunity to become a love story over the course of time. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to talk about, I am struggling with tomorrow's topic. I can tell you that. Between relationships. I'm going to be talking about between relationships. Those short-term relationships. The relationships that we just do here and there. Kind of like what we're coming up on. The season of short-term relationships. The season of massive heartbreak too. Because what do we do in the fall and the winter? We grab a relationship. We don't want our beds cold. We don't want our family events to be where we're without the +1. We don't want to do the company events as just on one, but we want to be up with one. So we're looking for those short-term relationships. And what ends up happening is a lot of drama, a lot of trauma, and a lot of lies. So tomorrow we're going to be discussing all those tween relationships that we do, why we do them, why I've done them in the past, what I've learned from them, and how to take that next step forward out of them. So, all right, guys. Beautiful events coming up in the month of November, December, January, and February. Events are out, so if you are local to the Dallas-Fort Worth area or can get your butt here in time for one of those events, make sure that you go to www.kendalwilliams.com, click on the events tab for those events. Get registered today. I had an amazing class last Saturday. House was packed. Absolutely amazing events going on there. So look for more to come out on that particular event later today. And if you would like one-on-one coaching on any of the topics I'm going through on this series of the Land of Why, I mean, we've talked about a lot of deep stuff, scary stuff, stuff that people don't want to talk about, shame-oriented stuff, right? We've got cheating. We've got mistresshood. We've got it all going here. So if you've been in love, if you have felt love in your heart and you've experienced any of the topics that I've come through over the last couple weeks, and you would like to know, hey, what are the skills that I could pick up to really get in there and work on myself so that, yeah, I'm not tempted to cheat. Yeah, I can say no to backup plans. I can really get into the groove of who I need to be to match who I want to call in. And if you want to learn those skills, reach out to me for some of my fall winter specials on coaching, and as well as couples, if you would like to learn how to overcome affairs and have the legacy of the affair actually be a powerful love story creator instead of a love story destroyer, then reach out to me about that as well. I love you guys. Remember, you are worthy of a dynamic, beautiful relationship in your love life, in your work life, with your friends, your family, and with nature itself, with yourself. Just reach out to me. You are worth it. As always, remember, stop existing, start living, and I will catch you tomorrow with another episode of Conscious Coffee and the Land of Why.